All right, today is January 10th, and Bitcoin ETFs are officially 1 year old. Now, a couple things to understand here over the last 12 months. We've got Bitcoin up 103%. Of course, that crushes whatever bonds did. It beats what stocks have done. And ultimately, Bitcoin as an asset class has consistently either been the very best performer in a year, or it has been the worst performer in a year since inception, going back to '08. But here's the reality. We are in a new era and a new time. Fantastic that we broke above 100,000 here this last year. A couple things that I think are important to understand that may not be factored in right now as we're evaluating Bitcoin and just kind of looking at it from a price standpoint. We need to understand that Bitcoin is actually more like a commodity. It's something that you can purchase. And then, by the way, if you lose your keys to accessing it, it's gone. I haven't seen a good statistic here recently as far as, what there might be a probability of how much money or how much of the Bitcoin total assets have been lost. But there is definitely a strong thesis out there to say that, 20% of these Bitcoins are no longer available. What happens is you lose your keys, you lose your crypto. It'll be important, as I mentioned that in just a second. We've had a year now where these ETFs are trading, and the market is kind of doing this pumping thing here. And so if you look at the trading of insiders like BlackRock and others and how they've been, selling and liquidating and how those specifically affect the price fluctuation, I think it's really important to understand that you're going to be wanting to be buying on the dips right now. Is it a good price today? Sure, relative to the next 3 and 5 years. Are there ways to get a better buy-in price? Yeah, likely utilizing things like limit orders. And by the way, this is not financial advice for anybody specifically. I'm just sharing some ideas here of how that might work out. And so I believe in direct custody, but there's a lot of ways to do this, and direct custody also has some challenges with it. Going back to the point here, 94% of all Bitcoin has been mined. 94% of all Bitcoin exists in this world, and therefore our price discovery that is happening right now with the ups and downs in the market, which of course they're pretty extreme. If you're new to the crypto world, just get used to that one. Buckle up, hold on for dear life is sort of the way most people look at that. Who knows the day of the hour? No one knows when the market's going to go up or down. The point is that do you believe in this idea or not? And I'm not saying whether you should or should not for you or a certain percentage of your portfolio, but I'm going to say probably pay attention to the future though. Probably pay attention to what many people are observing about fiat dollars, which is a way to say money that is not backed up with something. As an example, the US dollar. We print more and more and more of it. The Minister of Finance from China, I believe this was August of 23, he said that the United States prints this $100 bill for approximately 17 cents, and it takes us $100 in wholesale goods to get this 17-cent bill. Hey, here's the reality. The world right now is not necessarily doing as awesome if we can just print, but they actually still have to generate things in order to get those dollars. So our inflation doesn't feel terrible. The rest of the world right now feels pretty bad given the fact that the US dollar keeps going up and up. As we look at Bitcoin and we understand what 2025 could be, I think it's important to understand that we have this new Trump effect in place, and this is going to bring in quite a number of different things. Of course, this is the most pro-crypto president. 60% of Congress is pro-crypto openly. Maybe there's even a higher number that will come out later that they say, yeah, maybe I changed my mind. But the point here is that 94% of Bitcoin has already been out there. If we would understand basic supply and demand, and if I told you that, that we're going to be mining Bitcoin for more than 100 additional years, and we're basically getting about 1 million more coins of 21 million possible, you'd think, wow, wait a minute, there's actually a liquidity challenge here with Bitcoin. And what do I mean by that? Well, I, David, am a pretty significant Bitcoin holder, and I will share with you that I don't intend to sell. I've made pretty significant gains. Why would I want to take gains right now and pay taxes on things that I can get loans against and utilize those as business expenses and buy income producing items? And so that would be a whole nother conversation that we should have and that you should consider in understanding how to utilize assets like this and how the world might be shaping here as we move forward into the future. But here's the reality. The reality is that if Bitcoin should be worth $1 million. And as everyone just, sort of, opts to this idea that based on the Bitcoin white paper, that everything should be worth 1 million, each Bitcoin should be worth $1 million. Well, that's great. So let's just go with that basic thesis. If 94% of all coins possible are now publicly available, are in someone's wallet, whether they're exchanged or not, there cannot be a second one of that exact same coin ever again. The point is that, I don't know, simple math might say that one Bitcoin should be worth 940,000 right now in January 2025. And so looking at, price here today, sub 95,000, I think that that looks like a pretty amazing opportunity because that literally looks like basically a 10x multiple from this moment. When does that price get discovered? How does that ultimately work? I don't know. Again, I told you there's 100 years left in crypto mining for Bitcoin before we finish it. And we will finish it. I just think price discovery is going to come and people are going to say, hey, I actually really want that. And I do believe that it's worth more than it is right now. And I think that we'll hit this point in time where the price is going to go up and up and up and up. And a lot of people sell at 200. A lot of people sell at 300. A lot of people sell at 400. And yet it will still probably climb higher than that. And over what time frame? Again, I don't know the day or the hour. But what I can share with you is that when we talk about a Bitcoin reserve, and understanding the price that we can get right now, especially on dips, this would be an okay idea. But I'll also share with you that, even though I have this strong conviction and belief, and I think that the math is pretty simple to understand, just in that very simple way of 94% out there of $1 million would put it at 940,000. I actually think that there's coins I'm going to make a lot more money in and that are going to be even more strategic to the future. Because see, the one thing that we don't know about Bitcoin is that we know that it cannot transact quickly. And so because it's unable to transact quickly, we have a time frame right now where this leading asset class, the number one asset class in crypto, which doesn't transact quickly, therefore it's not a really great, quick medium of exchange. I think that there's an opportunity for new leadership to come in. And so this is where a lot of the conversations come in, talking about Ethereum and talking about Ripple. And, we've gotten a new Ethereum ETF now. We've not seen the price take off in the same way, though. We're looking at new Ripple ETFs. Now, this is an interesting one because if you'll pay attention for a moment, you'll notice many of these banks out here and their CEOs were dissing Ripple, were dissing crypto in general, while simultaneously and behind the scenes creating their own coins and preparing for what is very probably upon us right now, which is that at some point in time, there will be a banking challenge and then we will switch over to this system. Now, it would be wonderful to do things not in a crisis, but remember the old adage here, and that is don't waste a good crisis. And it seems like that's been the playbook over the last, decades, but, very, very clearly here in the last 4 or 5 years as things have just been changing. One thing I'll just note to you is I like to look at the world as well with 2020 glasses, 2020 vision on. The world is pre-2020, post-2020. Where are we then? Where are we today? Well, shoot, we go back in 2020 or prior to 2020, we hadn't even hit that halving. So that was 2 halvings ago in Bitcoin. And we've seen what the price did since that time frame. And guess what? It's going to continue to do it. So there's been naysayers the whole time, people that really don't understand it. And by the way, I've been on both sides of that argument. And so I'm not telling you that I've been a maximalist. I'm not telling you that I've been early. I'm not telling you that I know all the answers. What I'm going to tell you is, as somebody who's looking at this from a fundamental standpoint, which is how many of them are out there? What's the price that I can get them for? What's the probability that's going to appreciate in the future? And I think that there's a great story to be mentioned there. And if someone doesn't like Bitcoin or crypto, or they can't understand it or figure out how to get a wallet, I can completely understand. I was in that camp too. And if I can just share with you, one of the ways to do that is you can own Michael Saylor's company, or you can to take a look at owning Coinbase, which has been a very good U.S.-based company that's been favorable in communicating with the SEC and also a leader in advancing the conversation. We've just been hoping that the SEC would have a conversation about crypto and not just declare it all as bad or something. And so we're about to get a new SEC commissioner here that is pro-crypto, pro-blockchain, understands what to do with it. I'm not going to tell you that I understand what's about to take place completely. All I can say is buckle up. Ultimately, 2025 is probably going to be alt season. As well. So a lot of these altcoins and alternatives that are out there, again, you can buy them on the dips right now like I am, but this is the time to get allocated. People are wondering, is it too late? Bitcoin's at 100,000. Well, I think Bitcoin's going to go up. I just made the story for that. By the way, I could be totally wrong, not financial advice, but let's just say that that in the event that blockchain, does advance and move forward here with this very, very, very positive environment, how many people would want to have been a part of that and that appreciation? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, big money is just getting in right now. They're just seeing a clear pathway. They're just knowing that there's a clear direction. So they go, you know what, for the first time, maybe I can do it. I know many in the financial services community who don't own even one dime into a blockchain technology. And by the way, think of blockchain mostly as technology and not necessarily as money. That's a different thing. Stable coins are a different thing than the technology used to transfer those coins or make exchanges. The technology that we're buying right now in a lot of these coins is ultimately going to be adopted by the future, and it's going to be then adopted by our lives. And so we don't even know what the companies will be probably traded in the stock market or in ICO offerings, initial coin offerings, as new ideas and projects are coming out. So this is just like so exciting because even the kids that are coming out of school right now that were thinking about becoming an engineer, they go, you know what? I don't really, think that I want to do airplanes and engineering as much anymore. I'd rather go into blockchain because I'm more passionate about it. I think that there's more opportunity there. I can get involved with some organization that's going to benefit me as they grow, we grow. But just to be very clear, most of what is out there today in blockchain will likely not be the future. I'm not just trying to point fingers at a specific category of coins, but what I'm sharing with you in a 2025 outlook is that I think that we're going to get some communities that are real, and I think that there can be some things that can really become something, including in meme coins. I don't know that we fully comprehend, though, what that's going to look like or where the application is going to be. I think I could give you a number of ideas, but I don't know ultimately how it unfolds and the bazillions of things that some of the most creative young people and whatever are going to be coming up with here in the future. So, I mean, it's exciting though, because when you're at a time and place of innovation, when you're at a time and a place of beginnings, when you're in a time and a place of a renaissance, and then you've got AI and you've got these data centers with all these other challenges, I just think that it's primed right now we're primed right now to see the blockchain community really see some exceptional upswings, and so I'm excited to be a part of that. I'm excited to be on that journey. I think that Ripple's a big part of that. I think Cardano ADA is probably a big part of that too. And I'm not giving financial advice here. So one thing that's interesting is when we understand some of the history of blockchain, we look at the biggest coins that are out there right now. Ethereum is the second largest one, and my goodness, what an incredible technology that Ethereum is. I mean, pretty much everyone getting into the engineering world is looking at Ethereum as the language to learn because it's second in popularity of all cryptos out there. And now with the staking mechanism that was adopted a few years ago, with those coins that don't need to be recertified, they can just be put into the system. Those who own those coins actually get a little bit of a dividend, if you could call it that. It's not called a dividend though, but you're getting a yield for doing that and being able to make faster transactions. You're going to be able to transact probably your next home and mortgage, and it'll be able to do a lot of what escrow does within just one coin. And as things are going across, we need to tokenize the world. There's a lot of things that need to happen. I'm excited about Ethereum. If I say I'm excited about Ethereum, I got to tell you though that I'm excited about Cardano. There were two founders of Ethereum. One broke away, Charles Hoskins, and he started Cardano, and he did so from an engineering standpoint. And one thing that I think people should understand is when you begin with engineering, which is like the questions of the future, as opposed to I just wrote a white paper and we're going to just try to figure out how it goes from here. I think that approach ultimately gives you an ability to find yourself in places that you would have not been otherwise, because you're asking a bigger question perhaps than what the need might have been at the moment. So with that being said, Cardano's not well known because they took a bunch of time to get figured out here. And so again, not financial advice, but as I understand it, it should be able to transact at least 10 times faster, even than that leading blockchain technology in Ethereum. Currently today, Cardano's a sub $1. So I feel pretty awesome about this coin and this opportunity and this thing. But this is not something that most of the world is even aware of right now, or how powerful that technology can be. So, if you even look up Charles Hoskins in some of the interviews, he's wanting to work with Ripple, and he's wanting to work with the Ripple stablecoin very specifically, that it might be able to transact. And I think one other point that I would just make about Cardano is that very intelligently, they went away from their own native building block technology, how they were coding everything, to utilizing the same language of Ethereum. And so Ethereum borrowed the staking idea from Cardano. Cardano's borrowing the language of Ethereum, which makes it easier for people who learned Ethereum to now then be able to transition over to Cardano. So if you want to know where I think that there's going to be some movement here in the future, Cardano, Ethereum are both going to be winners, no question. And there are other coins on top of that. I just wanted to make mention of something that's not as, topic understanding, or there's not as much information out there. So be vigilant, understand that this is not a straight line up or down, although it'll feel like that perhaps at some times when you have multiple days of losses in a row or multiple days of gains. This is not for the faint of heart. And in fact, don't invest money that you can't lose. My answer here on TV show the other day was, don't not get involved. If you consider what you would spend on a nice weekend away with a spouse, and you would take that money, and instead of doing that weekend, you would just put it into maybe some of the names I mentioned now, some of the other names out there, not sure what's right for you, not sure what you want to do or your time horizons, etc. And this is speculative. Okay, so now that I've said that, and you put money into various coins, here's what I'll share. You probably 5 years from now aren't going to remember the one weekend that you didn't have together. In fact, maybe go camping and do something, but maybe, you're not going out to that show or that thing or on that one trip. And instead, you either maybe made your future and your retirement over that 5 years, because literally we're at a beginning point that generations from now, I think, are going to be saying, man, I wish I was there when Bitcoin hit its 1-year birthday, like we're talking about today. This is your opportunity. The point is you either lose a weekend or you got some more that's on your side of the balance sheet that can help you for the future. So with that being said, I hope this was helpful. Again, nothing here was shared as trying to be financial advice, and the information I'm trying to share with you is from places and sources that I have deemed to be credible, interviews, things I've read, things I've picked up from over time. As you'll recognize here, I'm speaking from my heart. I'm sharing with you the facts and statistics and things that I'm hearing, the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm recognizing, and I'm excited to bring you along on the journey with that. I think that we're on for a very, very, very exciting 2025. I think it's going to be both, negative and positive. And so we want to, keep our heads about us. We want to have the right ideas of where we are as we're navigating this future. But I just want to tell you to stay encouraged. I want to tell you to be thinking clearly and to be thinking for yourself. There's a lot of statistics out there that I believe that have been probably not telling us as much of the truth as we were hoping. We'll find out a lot of that here in 2025 as we're no longer in an election year and we've got a completely different, team in power. And guess what? There's also going to be a lot of changes. I mean, you can't cut a bunch of money from the Department of Government Efficiencies and not affect GDP or not have some recourse in some way. The point is, how will this get sold to the American public? How will this get sold to the community? There's a lot of speculation out here today. Who knows what's going to happen? Just know this, the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act are here, and they've just been enhanced as a 2.0 version with President Trump coming back in. So it extended what was done in 2018. It puts you in position to be able to capitalize on that. But all the people who have been coming through my classes and learning about the 101 different ways of doing withdrawal strategies, I think are probably just cheering right now because they know that this doesn't just end at the end of next year. This is now going to be extended a little bit further, and there's going to be some additional benefits that'll go along. So you can do that with a time where the economy might grow in some right areas. You can make some specific investment choices and decisions that'll put you in position with higher probability for future success. I think that's a winning strategy and plan. So love to be able to share some ideas and thoughts here. Again, for those who are interested in connecting with someone on my team at Sound Planning Group or SPG Advisors, and you would like some financial advice, we'd love to be able to help and answer some of those questions. I think the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act 2.0 is something that we better be paying attention to, because second chances are never guaranteed in life. If we find ourselves with a second chance, though, man, we better take advantage of that. Shame on us for not taking advantage of it that second time if we knew about it. So with that being said, hope that this helps. Hope that this is able to help you kind of sort through some of the minutia here with what's happening in the world, give you a few points and ideas, and help you and guiding you in some of your planning process. So God bless you. Until next time, look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.